Bonjour, Montreal. Good morning, Canada. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. It is Black History Month, and it's a time to remember important people and events in history, but it's equally important to keep the conversation going all year round. One way to do this is with your kids through books. Now, Rosemary Sadlier was instrumental in making the celebration of Black History Month a national event in Canada. She literally made history. She's an award-winning author of many books on Black history, and we're honored, absolutely honored, to be speaking with Rosemary this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for what you've done over the years throughout your career. And like I said, literally made history. Take us back a little bit in getting Black History Month to be recognized nationally, and what you had to go through at that time.
Well, I think that we were at a point in time when, while the organization I was with had already been successful at seeing a formal recognition of Black History Month, by chance, by the time I became the president, we weren't aware that we had to apply with the City of Toronto to get recognition. So when I realized that how precarious it was, I moved it up, not just in terms of city recognition, but provincial recognition across in every province across the country, and ultimately advocating with various members of the federal government until it landed with Jean Augustine, who saw it through the House of Commons. So I was the only non-elected person on stage at the very first February 1996 celebration of the first National Black History Month in this country. Was very, very inspiring, and I was so hopeful.
Yeah, and hope is, of course, what you had back in '95. You know, we're 27 years later. How do you feel this has impacted just the education system, but kids learning in general? Are you happy where things are at this point?
There's unfortunately and fortunately, there's room for improvement. As you were saying earlier, or Frankie was saying, you know, you don't want to be number one, you want to be number two. You move up. We're definitely number two.
Yeah.
And we have a lot to move forward on. Of course, education is a provincial responsibility, and I had hoped that the National Declaration would still somehow manage to impact and influence provincial ministries of education. We've seen much more movement in the province of Nova Scotia, but there are other provinces in this country, and Ontario, with the largest critical mass of people, still does not have a required Black History Month requirement. There's no learning expectation. You do not necessarily have to learn too much about Black history in your journey from kindergarten to grade 12. And I think that that is perhaps a bit disappointing that we're still at that point some years later.
And I think, you know, and you fought for this, and it's the truth. Black history in this country is history in this country, and people need to know that. You've got several books and you've written many books to get kids involved. How can we help our kids and our education programs? You have some ideas as well, including this book that we were just seeing right there, the kids' book of Black Canadian history that you that you put out. Tell us more about that.
Well, this is an award-winning book. It received every award across this country. It's a Canadian bestseller. And I think that the reason for that is because it's able to tell the story from Africa to the current times about the experience, the issues of people of African origin in this country. It's a great book for kids to use on their own if they're maybe from 8 years old up, but it's really a great book for an adult to use. And this is the secret, the real power of a kid's book. If you want a quick understanding of a topic you may know little about, looking at a kid's book such as this one would be very helpful in giving you a really great overview.
And Rosemary, unfortunately, we are out of time. I would love to sit and speak with you more. You have to come back on the show. What you've done, your contributions to this country and for next generations is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
All right, nice to see you. And Rosemary Sadlier, everybody, you just go check her out. She's got so many great books for your kids and for adults in your life to learn about Black history and history in this country.